Baby, it is always to mess with these ladies. That's never gonna change, but I think that's really why we watch it. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We are reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 11, Episode number 11, Text, Lies, and Therapy? Yeah, okay. If it's your first time visiting my channel, hey, what's up? Click the subscribe button, become a ray of sunshine, and the notification bell. The two are best friends. So when the episode airs, they are back at hibachi night, honey. I feel like I'm too high up, or too something. How about that? Okay. They're back at hibachi night, honey, and the shit has already come to a head. Portia don't want to talk about it no more. Candy is ready to leave. Portia talking about she need to breathe. Just the same old rigmarole from before. The two of them are always going to butt heads until they learn how to communicate with one another. But that's the key with everybody. You got to learn how to communicate with one another, hear one another, listen to one another, and try and understand from someone else's point of view, not your own. Anyway, Portia goes to get her a little drink of water, honey, because it's too much. It's hot. I'm parched. I'm out of breath. And Marlo comes in. And the thing about Marlo is she kind of plays both sides all the fucking time. But this time she's playing in the kitchen with Tanya, or whatever that little area is. And Tanya, Marlo, and Portia. Marlo agrees that Candy probably should have called her, especially since it had been, you know, 5 days or whatever, just to address the situation. Later on, we hear Candy say, "I'm just tired." So as they go back outside, everybody's hungry. Tanya's like, "Let's go eat." And like I said last week, I like the way Tanya hosts a party. Of course, hers is themed. She has kimonos for the ladies, and she walks them into her hibachi room. Yes, honey, like you are at Benihana or Wakano. Y'all got a Wakano out there? Wherever you at. I'm sure y'all got a Benihana's, right? Anyway, or some form of it, which is Asian-inspired food cooked on the big hibachi grill. Nevertheless, it's hot in there. Portia needs to go outside and take a deep breath. Nene follows her out, and they have another little discussion about what's happening. And I'm all like, I'm over it. Y'all should be over it too. Let's keep pushing. So because it's so hot in there, Tanya says, well, we were going to eat outside anyway. It was just for the show because it's too hot in that small little room, honey. But that damn Shamari, I was too through with her. She was hungry. She was eating the rice. But what got me was, bitch, did you just put your face in the plate to eat the rice? Okay, when you use chopsticks for rice, what I learned is that you have to put them together and scoop it like it's a spoon. Scoop, okay? Not try and pick up grains of rice. That's not how that works. Check out any Asian person when they're using chopsticks. They put them together to scoop up the rice. Hello, somebody. But I was like, homegirl is hungry. And when she came back upstairs, everybody was like, when she told them she was eating, they was like, what? You couldn't wait on us? She was like, I was hungry. It was too much mess. Now, here's what I did not like. I was like, when Tanya and Eva started discussing the reason why they decided to put together the hibachi party, right? When they decided to do that, and they started talking about shade, and Miss Eva, of course, we know she shades everybody, but pretends like it's not. Honestly, I'm with her. Maybe you sometimes just stating facts. Nevertheless, I didn't like that, Portia, we just came off of a bunch of mess surrounding you. Why in God's name would you start mess up as it relates to Eva? Because she called her a veteran model, mother. I think it's a little bit of a compliment considering that Cynthia is a lot older. And she is a veteran, and she models the shit out of everything, even her regular clothes, her walk, her regular everyday walk is fierce, okay? But when she put it on, she put it on, and Cynthia knew it. She was like, shit, okay, well, mother did win. Y'all seen her in the confessional. I feel like I'm all over the place because I keep getting interrupted with my phone. I did like, however, how Eva owned up to her behavior in Destin and not inviting Nene or any of the other girls to the bachelorette party, and it's pretty much saying, I want to take you to Tokyo for a do-over, right? I really did like that she owned that. That is one thing that I like about her. She will go ahead and apologize if she feels like she has offended someone. Okay, so let's talk about Nene. Well, we see Nene. Nene is sitting with Greg, and they are preparing for a chef to come over because it is Greg's birthday party. So they're having a chef come and try and show their family, specifically his sons, a different way of eating, because cancer could be considered genetic in some places, but we all have a percentage of cancer in us. It's what we do with our lives, how we eat, the things that we do, what we're exposed to that makes it activate. That's what they say. That's what I've read. If you disagree with me, do it down below in the comments. Anyway, I feel like Greg is being very combative right now. He is ill. He's not ill anymore. He's better, but he is very much so on edge. And so he is very snappy with Nene. When the chef comes, he gets very snappy with the chef, talking about, well, you said that she was a vegetarian, a vegan chef. She's not. And so what we see is that he is becoming just a tad bit negative Nathan. You know what I'm saying? However, I know firsthand it is because they're carrying a lot of anxiety about what's going on in their lives. If you know and you've been rocking with me for real, you know that my late husband had cancer, and I did experience this. Like Nene said, you're carrying all the weight, and you are actually his punching bag. You're the one that he's snapping at. You're the one that he's getting mad at when things aren't going right or when he's not feeling well. Even though that's not what he means, you are the punching bag. You are the rock. I mean, you're everything to them. And so they are trying to be nice to everyone else that's being supportive, but their main supporter is the one that they kind of take out all the anger and animosity on. And it's not that they're angry with us, it's that they're angry with the situation. So I can see that Nene is feeling some kind of way, but she definitely understands how he feels and why he feels that way. So then a little later we see the actual party. Now earlier they said like 10 people, but I swear it seemed like more than 10 people was up in that house, y'all. Nonetheless, he started giving out his normal speech about, you know, because of his situation, he wanted to make sure he's around family and friends, and you can see that it affects Nene. Like, I felt like, okay, even as I was watching it, I felt like, come on, Greg, you gotta quit harping on or discussing the negative part of it and just be like, I'm really glad and I want to celebrate. And I kind of feel like maybe that was where he was going, but it just, I felt Nene's pain. Let me say all that. You know, she did good. I didn't know if you touch here that the tears would stop, because did not a tear come out, but you saw that her whole face had begun to change. I like that his son stepped in and was like he knew that this wasn't going the right way and made a positive spin, like, we're your support system and we're going to be here. I really like that he took charge and said something positive versus what the road that his dad was going down. And sometimes I'm feeling like, do you want a little sympathy? A lot of times people who are ill do look for sympathy from people, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe is that what you're looking for? I don't know. Y'all, you could tell me what you think about Greg and his disposition down below in the comments. I did like that we had a chance to see more of his family. Like last week we saw his sons. This week we got a chance to see his sister, and her and Nene were talking, and she was very supportive of Nene, and we saw Nene say, I broke down today. Like, I've been really strong, but I broke down. It's a lot for me to carry. And I like that the sister was like, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. And I know that it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. And I'm going to tell you something. From his family, that is a lot. From your spouse's family or the family of the person that is ill, and they come to the person that is the caregiver. When you hear them say, I know it's a lot of weight on you, you're doing a great job. That means a lot versus the nya behind your back. Girl, we need to do get ready with me so I can talk about my in-laws. Yeah, no hold bar. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about Cynthia. She didn't really have much going on, but it was enough for us to talk about. Well, as we know, Mike is visiting. I didn't know his name was Michael. Is it still spelled Michael. Y'all, I don't follow Fox News, sports news, so y'all let me know down below in the comments. So Mike is still visiting, Mr. Hill is still visiting with Cynthia, and she decides, instead of allowing the rumor mill to come to him, which would not happen because he's way in California while they're in Georgia. So the stuff with Will happening, that's because he lived in Georgia. And you know, that the black community, though it's a lot of black people there, it's still very small and everybody knows everybody, especially in the upper echelon. So they won't probably have a lot to say about him. Nevertheless, I thought it was smart that she go ahead and say, let me go ahead and let you guys have the conversation with him. Let's get it out in the open. So I was expecting Nene to be there, but she wasn't. It was Marlo, Candy, and Eva, which was odd, but I guess maybe those were the only ladies that were available. Considering her and Nene are good friends, I really thought that maybe Nene would be there, but like I said, maybe Nene was busy, honey. She was busy. But nonetheless, I think that those three ladies asked questions that were the questions that we got to see anyway. I felt like they were valid. Sorta. So Eva asked, what are you going to add to this already beautiful person? And he said, I'm like a layer, we're like 2 layers of cake coming together and we're putting the frosting on the top. And I was like, can somebody feel that way about me? Can somebody know how magnificent that I am and then come to me as wonderful, as amazing, and we come together and build this tower together? Like, lately, honey, I've been feeling all like romantic and sometimes a little bit lonely, but I'm alone, never lonely, but it tries to creep in. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know how I'm being transparent. So all this stuff be really having me in my feelings sometimes. Anyway, so then Candy asked the question. Candy was like, well, is any question available? I mean, is there anything off limits? And Candy asked, what is your go-to move with Cynthia? And he was like, you know, from the back, pretty much. And I was like, is that what she likes? Is that the thing that you know, because that's pretty much what she's asking. Do you know what Cynthia likes? Can you get her there? Now, we know on the side in the confessionals that he is getting Cynthia where she needs to be, all the way together. He is not a boy anywhere. That is what she said, and we know exactly what she hinted to, what that innuendo was, okay? Hello, somebody well endowed Mike is what I heard. Anyway, so then we got to Miss Marlo, and Miss Marlo said, are you paid to, has anyone paid you to date Cynthia? I don't think anybody paid Will to date Cynthia. I mean, Cynthia's gorgeous and has lots of money, but we do know that escrows are available, and if you need escorts are available, and if you need someone to date, to be around, that is a possibility for you. She also went ahead and said, when was the last time you had an STD? I mean, had STD testing, and I was thrown back by it, but I was like, well, Cynthia, do you know when the last time you had testing done? Let's talk about Shamari really quick, and it's going to be really quick because it's really Shamari and Candy. Shamari meets Candy at this lingerie store. Candy is putting on a variety show, you know, because the whole sex dungeon thing had been seen as a negative light and had been posted out. She was like, you know what? Let's make a negative a positive, and I'm going to do a variety show that's going to be burlesque inspired, meaning very boudoir, very sensual, very sexy, you know, get your juices flowing, that kind of thing. You ever been to a burlesque show? I love burlesque shows. Different than strip shows, different than the strip club, very much seductive and provocative, very much wants to make you get home and fuck your nigga. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, because it's very sensual. A lot of dancing, a lot of very seductive moves. They're really dancers. Anyway, so it's burlesque inspired. All that to say, burlesque inspired. She asked Shamari to participate, and that is the reason that they are at the lingerie store, so that Kandi can get inspired and see what Shamari is comfortable in. And Shamari's like, I'm good with cleavage, I'm good with legs, but I don't like booty shorts, etc. Well, yeah, you got a little booty, and that might be why. And she was like, I keep that covered for my man. So they go in, Shamari brings up Portia again. I'm all like, why is that always the conversation? But I guess that's the thing that just happened. So, but I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. I don't want to hear more about this little incident, but we're going to hear more about it next week, it seems like. Anyway, they go inside the dressing room, come out in very classy but sexy and seductive lingerie. And Kandi asked Shamari, would Ron be okay with this? She said, I'm not sure if he would be okay with me wearing it out, but I need to let me ask him and let me check right now. I'm gonna FaceTime him to see what he thinks. And Kandi was like, girl. Now I said too, girl. So I want to know how you felt about her actually calling. Do you think that she called him out of respect? Or do you think that there's a bit of control there in their relationship? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm curious. I think that I would hope that it is out of respect. That I'm married, I'm gonna wear lingerie, I want to make sure that this is appropriate and that my husband is okay with it. I think it was a little weird for her to do it right then. Maybe she should have taken it home and said, babe, this is what I'm deciding to wear. And he could have given her his thoughts and opinions on it. But I want to know what you think. Let me know down below in the comments, because sometimes it's a bit of control. Men do want to control how you dress and etc, etc. Listen, this one, you met me this way. Understand that this is who I am. I am going to tailor it because I am married now, but please don't try to change me. And this is for money. So anyway, let me know down below in the comments. A girl spent $1,000 on lingerie. That was an expensive lingerie store. And that one little last piece that she got with it was probably just like a line and a line that she got for Todd. Baby, she must got the body for it. I want to get my body together so that I could be like, look what I bought. I just bought some pieces from Fashion Nova. I kind of want to show y'all, but I'm kind of like, that might be too much. Anyway, lastly, let's talk about Portia. When we see Portia, she goes and she visits Dr. Sherry. She begins to start discussing the event, you know, what happened at the party and then what happened at the hibachi grill. But basically, she starts to say how Dennis showed her the text messages between him and the ex-girlfriend Sherry with the lips. And she kind of feels like she's starting to lose herself, and that's not, no. And she wants to discuss losing herself. She does not want to lose herself as she had been in her previous marriage. And I kind of was confused until she broke it all the way down for us. And she said, I was giving a facade, making everybody think it was okay. And I was covering for my husband all the time, or I was covering for him, covering up what was going on when we were actually doing poorly. Our relationship was horrible, but I felt like I needed to protect him. Not only that, she felt like she became super submissive as his wife, you know, in a traditional role. Instead of submitting, she was super submissive and totally lost her identity. But I think a lot of that in her relationship with Cordell, whatever the fuck his name is, Cordell, that she was younger and he was controlling as fuck. Oh, hands down, he was controlling, he was manipulative, he was very domineering, very wanting to tell her what to do, and this is what it was. And that's why she was 10 years his junior. Hello, somebody. So I like the advice that Dr. Sherry gave her, which was, I know we're fast tracking, you know, because you're pregnant, you've only been dating 6 months, you're pregnant, etc., but try and pull back a little bit. And if you have some insecurities, that you need to go ahead and discuss them before things get too far along. Hello, everything everything is always about communication and discussing whatever your insecurities are. And I like that she said in the beginning, I didn't want to ask any questions. I was fine with not knowing. I was just in the moment, living for the moment. But now that things are getting serious, I need to ask those hard questions. I like that a lot, because I do believe that you should just go with the flow for a little while, because you don't even really know where things are going to go head or what direction things are heading in. But when things start getting serious, or he starts feeling serious or whatever, I feel like automatically as people we start divulging more information when we're really interested in somebody and we really want to get to know them. We start divulging more information that probes more questions, because I'm not one of them girls that want to go like 20 questions on your ass. I want you to be comfortable and trust me enough to know that this is somebody I can trust, that I respect, and that I want to share information with. And if we're getting that serious and you have to ask some questions, then things change. Like in her instance, she should be asking questions. You about to have a baby with this nigga. Okay, we know she finna get married to this nigga. Let's ask the questions. And I'm glad that she revealed that Dennis did show the text messages between him and Sherry. I'm actually glad that she revealed that she didn't like it, you know. And let's talk about that, because when we see her again, first off, let me say that I love how affectionate Dennis is with her. How much attention he shows her. Like, I didn't have that. I think I told you guys that before. I didn't have that while I was pregnant. That was something that I wish I had. I wish I had been with somebody that was going to love on me the way that he is loving on Portia, because it is something that you need while you're pregnant. And had my husband gotten his shit together, I probably would have some little toddler or something running around here right now. But God knows best, because he would have done exactly what Dennis is doing. And I'm too old to have children now. So I say, though I can biologically, you know, it's already too much with Kingston, and he 11. About to be 12. So I like how Portia brought it up. She started talking about what happened at the hibachi party and had that be a segue into the conversation that she had with her therapist. I'm glad that she was able to discuss how she felt that now, you know, it's causing an issue in our relationship, which as it relates to trust. You know, I cut everybody off. You didn't. And he made mention like people text you, and she was like, yeah, people text me, but I don't respond. You're having a whole blown conversation with them. And he's trying to say, well, the conversation was insignificant. You see how I responded. And her point was, it's not the fact that it was insignificant. It is the fact that we said we would not have these conversations, and you still went ahead and had a conversation with her. And I need you to own up to what you've done. I need you to hear what I'm saying. And then she went in to talk about how she feels like I'm covering up for you. Like I'm trying to make it seem like everything's okay. But these little things, these little insignificant things are going to become big things. And in the circle that I'm in, you know, and I just really respected her in this moment, saying, this is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. And I need you to own it. Eventually, the nigga owned it. He was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I should not have been having conversations with this young lady. But then he had a caveat because, you know, of the circle you're in and how she knows, you know, how things are getting back. No, period. No, because it might get back in the conversations that had been had previously. Just period. Even if you had never, I had never known, if no one I had known knew her or knew of your situation with her, the fact that we had a conversation and said we're going to stop texting all of our exes because we are now exclusive, you should have honored that. That was a conversation that you had. You should have honored. I'm excited about next week because they're going to Tokyo, and we see a lot of crying and emotional kind of bonding. I want to know what they're crying about. Now, okay, so let me know what you thought about this episode down below in the comments. Some things you disagree with me on, let me know that down below in the comments. If you haven't done so already, click the best friends, subscribe button, and notification bell. Add in the thumbs up button because you like me. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season number 11, episode number 11, Text Lies and Therapist. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. You can catch me on the next video.